smartphone ban in school. Do you think this is something that you are for?
I don't allow it in my classroom.
What about the argument that we should be more digitally savvy? We can use the phones to do so many good things.
Phones do more than just learning. There's other things, social media. You are opening the floodgates.
The phone is a lot scarier these days, right?
Yeah.
There's just so much about like unregulated internet access. It's undeniable that social media facilitates bullying. Traditionally, the people that struggle academically, there is some kind of screen addiction problem going on. So Naga, I know recently they had a smartphone ban in school. Should we start also?
If you ask me, I already have. I don't allow in my classroom.
Really?
I don't.
I didn't know this. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So what have you been
I don't
doing?
allow in my classroom.
Means what? They put it outside or?
No, I mean they put it there. They do use like they just flip it down or they keep it in their bag. I don't want to see them using it. You only can take out after my lesson.
But they can secretly use it.
I mean, our class size is small. We can we can see that they are using.
So what actually prompted you to like start doing that?
I think it's attention. Because our classes are like 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So I think I don't want them to be distracted. I want to maximize the 2 hours. And then I think there's a lot of when you have the phone at hand, it is like a time where you can take your mind off what you're doing.
This reminds me of our doom scrolling
episode. Yeah, correct. Yes. Doom scrolling. That word has actually affected me a lot. The first time I heard it, I thought it's a crime. So you take your mind off and then you can do something else and then you can come back. It's okay actually to look at it that way. Yes, you want to take a break and all that. But I think when it comes to learning, it has to go in a flow, right? When there's a break, right? I have to do more work as a teacher to bring you back again. Like example, I mean, I wouldn't say I totally always don't use. In the beginning, I think I allowed. Even my secondary school kids, they take out some time, text the parents or whatever. So I think initially I was allowing them to use. But I think what happens is that I realize I have to put more effort to bring them back when they drift off. Then that drains my energy. Attention to engage, right? The engagement strength must be more to bring them back, and then they have to like, okay guys, I'm going to continue, put away your phones and all that. So I think that was not very productive, yeah, I would say. So I started doing, okay, no phones allowed. Put away.
You were a school teacher before. I mean, I never had that. I can tell you what I used to do as a student, but that'll come later. But like, so, what do you think? I mean, let's just switch gears for a moment. Are you behind it? If you were still in school right now, do you think this is something that you are for?
I think if I'm a student, is it?
If I'm a teacher.
Okay. If I'm a teacher, yeah, I'll be happy. I mean, I think it applies, what I'm saying now as a tutor applies there also. Because I think when you let them off to do something else, right, then I think to bring them back, it takes a lot of time.
What about the argument that, we should be more like digitally savvy, like we can use the phones to do so many good things.
But now because
How about we play Kahoot in class or, we use a bit of AI to help us with our work? What do you
think? I think now they have all the devices, right? So I think it doesn't make sense to have another device with you. Because phones do more than just learning. Because I think you're not, you're not only allowing learning, there's other things, social media. I think the main thing was social media, if you ask me, the ban, because I think the distraction there, the social media, what they're doing, and then how information get passed on from one student to another student, all these are the things they were trying to curb in the ban. I think that's the main distraction there, which I think, of course, it doesn't help with the learning. So I think that's the first thing which actually prompted the ban. Same, I think here also at the tuition center, when in the class, when you say, okay, everybody do a question 4 to 5. Everybody does it. The fastest student will do it fast, or the people who do it anyhow will finish faster and then immediately take out the phone. When I still allowed, right? And the first thing, what I will do is that I will go behind. I'm quite sneaky, right? I'll go behind and I'll check. When you go behind the class, you can see what everybody's doing on the screen. So what some people are doing, Roblox.
All right. Okay.
Mobile Legends. Then some people are on TikTok. Some people are on, some sort of Instagram, right? So this is what's happening. So I roughly got a sensing of what they're doing. So at first, when I gave them benefit of doubt, I said, okay, maybe they are doing ideation. Maybe they are finding words, don't know how to spell, or they are using AI to do something or whatever. So I thought that was the thing, right? But it's not. And I actually sometimes tell them, you can use your phone to find the answer or to check or whatever. Yes, they are. But once they open that tab to check, the next step automatically comes out to something else already. Yeah. So you are allowing opening the floodgates kind
Actually,
of
I think
approach.
relative to what's been going on in a lot of the Western countries, so I think Australia had a social media ban.
Yeah,
and then,
correct.
I think Europe is like age gating, and I think US is like debating this. I think you're right. I think, one thing that the ministry is probably trying to address is the whole social media thing, which I would say I think it's just kind of, in line with the times. I think it's necessary on a lot of levels. I mean, we kind of made a reference to our doom scrolling episode. So we realized that, I mean, even as adults, I think it's very, very, very hard to control. I think the other element is, I think it's undeniable that the social media facilitates bullying. I think that's a fact. I think we're quite lucky. I think that's not really our era kind of thing because we didn't have social media.
Cyberbullying, you're talking about.
We had MSN Messenger, that was about it, but a bit hard to, do it as easily as, with social media and all that. So I think very good grounds for concern. I mean, I think the other day, I think it was my mom. My mom was like, so my mom was like, my old iPhone is like not working that great. I'm getting a new one. Can I give it to your son? I'm like, hell no. Right?
I was like, where is this going?
She's
You
like,
to the son?
she's like, yeah, so like my son, her grandkid, right? I'm like, hell no. Like, she's like, oh no, when do you think you're gonna give him a phone? I'm like, as late as possible. Like, I don't know lah. I mean,
Yes.
to be fair, I got my first phone at P3.
Okay.
It was a second-hand one from my dad lah. And I remember the first time I had it, it was because we were going for excursion, and all that, and then they need to call me and whatnot, right? So maybe I should have said that. Then my son would kind of ask me for the phone at P3, right? But the phone is a lot scarier these days, right?
Yeah,
because I think there's just so much about unregulated internet access. I mean, you talk about parental controls and all that. Kids are smart. We were kids before, right? You put the control there, every day in school they'll be figuring out how to get around it, right? And then there's the gaming, there's the social media and all that. So I don't know, as a parent, I don't feel it so acutely in my classes because my kids are 17, 18, they come for econs tuition. I mean, if no one dare to blatantly swipe the phone in my class, I mean, if they finished their work and all that, I'm fine. But especially for younger kids, I mean, I'm all for it. I think that helps on so many levels, right? Attention, bullying, socially.
I think it comes to a point where are they able to do the self-discipline or self-regulation?
No, the answer is no. Adults also cannot.
Adults also cannot, right? So basically, that's it. For me, right, personally, right, when do I go and do all this scrolling and all that? When I'm uncomfortable or when I want to distract. That means I want to cut off from everything, right? Like example, I'm in a place where there's a lot of strangers and I don't want to look at their face. I don't want to make eye contact. Then I go, I do that. Or even in a setting where in a social setting, I just don't feel like talking. It's actually a very convenient excuse. I'm using my phone, nobody will come and talk to you. Yeah. Now it has become a norm.
Yeah.
Last time, maybe the initial years.
People listen to music.
People listen to music, yeah. So now it's like that. And it has come to a point where people don't see it as rude anymore. It's a norm.
Really? I still think it's incredibly rude.
I don't. I mean, when I see somebody scrolling on the phone, I wouldn't go and talk to the person. It seems that the person is actively engaged or doing something busy. Maybe it's work related. Who knows? But if you go nearer, it's actually Instagram. So that kind of thing. So it has come. So even adults cannot regulate, right? And they're using it for their own convenience and all that. So definitely, kids will do it.
Yeah, I think I would go so far as to say I mean, it's hard to do, because my kids get screen time, mainly TV. But I mean, we're talking about phones and phone ban and all that. But I think the broader conversation is how do you regulate screen time?
Yeah.
How much screen time do you give and all that?
Yeah.
And I think the fact is a lot of kids will benefit from just having more guardrails around how much freedom they have with their phone and their device, right? Because I don't know about your levels, but I think for my kids, traditionally the people that struggle academically, I mean, yeah, it's a complex problem, multitude of reasons and all that, but so many times it manifests in there is some kind of screen addiction problem going on, right? Whether it be phone and social media and like friends or gaming on the phone, because mobile gaming is a thing now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they play now. What they play now? Roblox,
Mobile Legend, I
right?
don't know all
Yeah,
this.
and Brawl Stars. And all
Brawl
that,
Stars.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
I think it's time that we kind of recognize that. I don't know. I think the whole I need to contact my kids argument. It's a bit, it's a bit too simplistic because the phone does more than calling now.
Of course.
I mean, unless you tell me you are reverting back to the time where everyone's phone is just calling yeah, sure, everyone can bring a Nokia to school.
No problem.
We're no problem with that.
No problem. We are okay with
But
that.
I think with you're basically bringing a mini computer with you and, with all the things that you can do and all the potential for distraction and all that, I think the ban makes tremendous amount of sense.
No, of course, it definitely makes more sense because I think what I also observe is that when the kids are using, there was the time where I still was okay with using if you have finished your work and all that. But I think what happened was when I say, okay, time to stop, they can't stop.
Yeah.
It takes, the lag time to it has come to okay. Then it has come to, can I finish this level? That's when I get, I cannot.
That's the addiction.
That's the addiction problem. So that's when I realized, okay, cannot. You don't even start. If you start, they don't know when to stop. So I think at first I gave them the benefit of doubt that they will know when to stop, or they will appreciate the fact that you give them this freedom. That when I ask them to stop, they will stop. But no, I was
grossly mistaken.
You're grossly mistaken. Yeah, if you want to put it that way, yes. I was stunned first. After that, I realized, okay, I was totally wrong. So I said, cannot. So I said, okay, put away. I don't want you to look at it. Unless there's going to be a mid-break during my lesson, maybe a 5-minute break. You go toilet. People want to go toilet. Okay, go toilet. People want to have a drink, can have a drink. You can use your phone for whatever reason you want to use the phone. But I will give them a 30 seconds buffer time to cut off and then come back to lesson. This is the most I do. But I don't allow just take out and do as and when during my lesson. Because again, I try to bring back, the brain functions in a certain way. When it drifts off, to bring it back in, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, because it still wanders in the old context where you were in the game. Yeah, and then you're still thinking about the game even when you switch off the phone. And then to bring back, and then to get engaged back to the high engagement level to the question you were doing, it's gone.
Yeah, I think ultimately the argument that kids should have don't rob them of the opportunity to learn self-control. I think we got to recognize the addictiveness of the whole phone thing. And the reality is that given that even adults can lose control over this and, the numerous harms that we talk about, there's a reason why countries are going for 16 social media ban below a certain age and all that. I mean, yes, there's only social media, but the whole social media and phone conversation kind of goes hand in hand. And then if you talk about gaming, I think China is a good example also in terms of kind of how they regulate that. So, I think as with most things, right, people realize, cigarettes are harmful and people cannot control themselves, drugs, I think once you recognize that there's a societal problem, then something a little bit more stringent needs to kick in.
Of course, yeah.